This is the KWA LM4D. This is part of the LM4 series of professional training rifles, and this operates off of green gas. This rifle shoots a 6mm spherical projectile, and it's got flip-up backup sights. It's your Picatinny quad rail up front. It's got a full traveling bolt carrier group, which locks back on an empty magazine. My magazine's empty. Mil-spec buffer tube, 6-position stock, mil-spec pistol grip, and got full M4 controls, so you got your safe semi and auto. This quick start guide is going to go over quick troubleshooting, parts repair, do's and don'ts, and basic tips on how to get the most out of the LM4D. Couple features about this rifle. This rifle does lock back on an empty magazine, so you do have to release the bolt catch to drive the bolt home. But functionally wise, this M4 AR-15 works exactly as you imagine. Most of the learning curve actually comes from filling the magazine with gas and filling the magazine with BBs, and we're gonna go over that in just a second. To prime the LM4 magazine, you're gonna take your bottle of green gas, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold the release valve open as you fill this magazine. Now to fill it, while you hold that port open, you will take that KWA green gas needle and you will insert it to the fill valve here. Now once you do that, you'll hear gas expelling out the bottom, and then you can release, and now you got a good fill of gas into this magazine. Now there's no overfill in this magazine, so once you hear any hissing stop, you know your magazine's full. And once that's full, you can feel a little bit of pressure on the back of the release valve, and pressing the release valve will expel gas out of this little port right here, and I'll demonstrate that by this. All right, and now your magazine's full of gas and ready to be loaded with BBs. To load your KWA BB loader, you're gonna open up this loading port at the top of the loader next to the plunger, and you're gonna easily fill your BBs into the BB loader. Now, once you have that done, go ahead and close that door. Now at the bottom, you're gonna expose a little compartment that has the KWA LM4 magazine adapter, and that conveniently goes over the loading nozzle on the BB loader. Now that you have the loading nozzle on the BB loader, you take your LM4 magazine and you place the adapter over the mag lips. And as you depress the plunger, you will be loading BBs into your magazine. The LM4 magazine does hold 40 rounds of BBs. So if you're looking for a true capacity, 30 rounds, you can fill it to max and then just strip 10 BBs off the top of the magazine lips. Another pro tip with the LM4 magazine is the use of silicone oil. Silicone oil can assist with any leaky mags in terms of the fill port here. There is a little rubber O-ring inside the fill port that can sometimes get dislodged when you are filling. So it's advised to put a little drop of oil into that fill port before you fill. And I would say probably do that once a training session. And also the main seal right behind the magazine lips could use a little drop of oil, as that seals the airflow from the magazine into the bolt. And most of the time that fixes, I'd say 75% of the troubleshooting issues with air leaks and gas leaks with the magazine. 90% of the wear and tear parts on this system actually comes from the magazine. KWA actually has rebuild kits for these. It's gonna come with a fill valve, a release valve, a main seal, and magazine lips. They're all fairly easy to replace using common hand tools. The fill valve at the bottom just uses a flathead screwdriver, and you will need a couple Allen keys to remove the top screws to replace the feed lips. Same with the main seal, which is located just behind the feed lips. Some of the do and don'ts about this platform is these mag lips are made of plastic, so avoid dropping them. We do sell a rebuild kit for that magazine lip if you need them. Second thing is you cannot press check this rifle or chamber check it, as you see how small the projectile is in the magazine lips. If you do chamber or press check this, it will likely feed your rifle and you will jam the internals. Common solution to gas leaks is two main components in this magazine. That underneath you do have a floor plate seal, and then the main seal up here which seals the gas into the bolt carrier. You just have to inspect this little rectangular rubber gasket for any burrs or nicks or tears, and that's part of our rebuild kit. Any issues with feeding problems usually stems from either the magazine lips or the cylinder that's located in front of the bolt. A lot of times you can use a little drop of silicone oil, which is provided in our weapons, to lubricate this main seal and squash any issues you have with gas leaking out of the magazine and not firing or cycling your rifle. If you do have a jam, the easiest way to unjam it is to hold your rifle muzzle up. What you do is you rack the charging handle and hopefully any BBs come out that way. Another way to unjam this rifle is just to push the takedown pin out, separate the upper from the lower, and if you remove the charging handle and the bolt, you do have access to the barrel, which you can use the including unjamming rod to push any jammed BBs out from the chamber up here. Trigger issues. If you have any trigger issues such as the selector switch not going into semi or not going into full automatic, or the rifle firing in full automatic while it is in semi, the number one fix for that is just to open up the receiver again by pushing out the takedown pin and inspecting the fire controls for any debris, chopped BBs, cracked BBs, or any other foreign objects that can get in the fire control group. You can easily blow it out with a can of air or aerosol air. Accuracy issues. If you're having accuracy issues with your rifle past 25 feet, the number one culprit is usually the hop-up. And what the hop-up is since this rifle is shooting spherical 6mm BBs and it's not a rifled barrel, hop-up adds backspin to your projectile, increasing your distance and reducing any flyers from this weapon system. Now, to adjust the hop-up, you will have to open up your rifle by pushing out the takedown pin and adjusting a hop-up wheel here. Additional information about the hop-up and the trajectory of this projectile is in the KWA Operator's Manual.